Hello, welcome to today's practice. So for today, it would be great if you have a strap or maybe a towel or an old tie or something that you can use that can function as a strap. And then if you use blocks for your practice, have them as well, otherwise they're not required. Usual recommendations, so make sure that you feel your body, and if anything doesn't feel right, don't do it. So make any adjustments, any modifications that you think are necessary for your own practice. So having said that, let's start it actually laying down on our back in Shavasana. So just have the strap or whatever you're going to be using by your right side. We'll be using it quite early. So we just lay down on our back. We take a few breaths here to arrive. So start closing your eyes, or if you prefer to keep them open, have a very soft gaze. Just take a few breaths to settle in. And take a scan of your body. Just notice if you're holding any tensions, any part of the body that you need to work on today to release. And bring the focus to your own breath, to the steadiness of the inhale and exhale, as a way of starting to cultivate that presence in the now. Which is going to guide us throughout the practice. And then just take a few deeper breaths and start opening your eyes. And take the knees to the chest, hug them to the chest. Maybe just massage the lower back a little bit side to side, front to back. And then just hug the right knee to the chest and extend the left leg up to the ceiling. And then take the left leg down to the floor. The leg is extended. And then we take the strap, or whatever you're using. You want to place that on the ball of the right foot. And you can do this by holding the big toes as well if you have the full range of extension there. And then just hold the strap and start extending the right leg up towards the ceiling, but don't go all the way. Just with the exhale, just soften both knees, and then inhale, extend both legs. Exhale, we soften. Inhale, we lengthen. And then once again, soften and lengthen. And eventually just hold the full extension. So make sure that the left leg, the one that is extended down on the floor, is pressing towards the floor. And then the right foot is pushing into the strap as you're pulling the strap over towards the right shoulder. And you're pushing the right thigh open, so you're not locking the knee. The knee can stay soft. We're not working on the knee, we're all working on the opening on the left hamstrings. And then we'll keep pulling the right foot back. And use the breath here. So it's micro movements. With the exhale, you relax a little bit. With the inhale, you're lengthening. So you're not locking the leg. You're not creating any tension. You're just using the extension, the movement, to relax and lengthen. And we'll spend a couple of breaths here. So if anything, you're engaging the quadriceps to the front of the thigh to push the right thigh open, so to push the hamstrings open. But again, it's not by locking the knee or anything else. The shoulders are relaxed towards the floor, so you have an open chest and collarbone. And then with the next exhale, we soften everything. And we move the strap, move it to the other side, to the left side, and hug both knees again to the chest. And then we extend the right leg out, and then take the strap, we place it on the ball of the left foot. So the ball is basically between the arch and the toes. And then same thing here. So with the knee now we start extending, but we don't go quite the whole way. Exhale, soften. Inhale, extend. Soften, extend. And then again, and then eventually just find the full lengthening of the left leg, but also the right leg is engaged. And start working on the opening on the left hamstring. And so it's a combination of a lot of actions here. So the left foot is pushing towards the ceiling as you're pulling the left foot with your strap or whatever you're using towards the left shoulder. And then the left quadriceps are pushing forward, so they're getting that opening here, and you might feel it down on the glutes as well. But again, it's not a locking of the knee. The knee can stay as soft as you want. So it's not completely bent, but it's not locked. Because the action is all in the legs, in the thighs. But again, don't lock anything, just soften and lengthen. Keep the shoulders open. And then exhale, release. Then the left knee, remove the strap. You can put the strap, not put it too far away, because you're going to need it shortly again probably. And then just hug the knees, maybe find happy baby. So clasping the soles of the feet, the knees are coming down towards the armpits. And again, long lower back. If the lower back is lifting up, you can always clasp behind the knees. And then drop the feet to the floor and turn to one side, whichever works with you. You want to come on your knees down into all four. And so from here, we're going to start. Actually, let's do something else first. Sorry. Come, sit back on your heels and take the strap. We'll do this first. Change of plan. So if sitting like this is uncomfortable on the knees or back here, you can. I don't have a block with me today, but you can always place a block between the feet and sit over that block, or you can have a cushion there or something. And if this still, and you can be as high as you need to, and if this is still uncomfortable, you can always sit cross-legged. And so let's start taking the arms out this way, and then just gently start swaying the arms so the right knee comes up, the left knee goes down, and then with the exhale out, inhale, you sway it the other way. And just keep going like this. You don't need to finely interlace the lock behind between the hands. They don't need to reach each other. So just keep going like this, warming up a little bit the shoulder joint. And so with the inhale we go up, exhale we release, inhale, exhale. So use the breath to guide you a little bit into this movement, into this very simple, gentle flow. So we're not locking anything. Just keep going for a few more breaths. And again, we're not, you might feel that the hands reach a little closer with every time you go back, but don't look for the lock just yet. And then the next time that the left knee is going to be up, that's where you try to bring the hands together. If the reach is fine, otherwise you can just interlace, clasp the shirt, or you can have the strap over your left shoulder and you just find the strap here. So you can be wherever it works for you. You can be in the full interlace like this, or you can be holding the shirt, or you can be holding the strap, so like this. Wherever you are, it's fine. And just start working on the breath here with whatever combination you have. So with each exhale, you feel the pelvis dropping down, you become heavier. And with each inhale, you lengthen up. So the left elbow is pointing up. So with each exhale, you soften, you become heavier. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. So you exhale by emptying the belly and you feel the heaviness dropping down. Inhale into the chest, expanding the chest, and you become longer. Exhale. A couple more breaths here. And then as you exhale, you relax down. Undo. Shake the arms if you need to. And then just sway a little bit before we find the position, the asana on the other side. So right elbow towards the ceiling, and we find whatever connection works for us. So you could have the fingers touching with each other, interlacing. You could just be holding on the shirt or using the strap, which will be on your right shoulder. So and then once you're in position, you start using the breath. So as you exhale, you become a little heavier. The pelvis is dropping down. Inhale, you lengthen up. Exhale. Inhale. Just find that action. And then exhale, just relax down completely. If you have the strap, put it aside. We're done with it for the rest of practice. And let's transition. If you need to shake out the shoulders, just reset. And then let's come down to all four. And just find the shoulders, wrist under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And I start extending the right hand forward and the left foot back. And then with an exhale, first come down a little bit towards the floor. And then inhale, lift the right arm, left leg up, full extension. And then as you exhale, you curve the spine, bringing the elbow, right elbow and left knee in towards the chest. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we bring it in. Inhale, we lengthen forward. The gaze stays down or maybe towards the front of the mat. Inhale, and use the breath, always inhaling into the chest. Exhale, we empty by taking the breath out from the belly. And then with the next inhale, we hold the full extension for a few breaths. So the left hip stays parallel to the floor. And then exhale, we release the hand and the knee down. And then extend the left hand forward, extend the right foot back, and then with the exhale you soften down, inhale, lengthen, lift up and lengthen again. And then exhale, bring the knee and the elbow in, curving the spine, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and more. And then let's do one more, and then we hold it into the full extension. Right hip stays parallel to the floor, gaze stays down, and then exhale, we release down. And then just shake what you need in the body to reset. Maybe you take a few cat and cow stretches. And then again, reposition with the hands under the shoulders. And let's walk the knees a little closer to the wrist so that the shoulders are ahead of the wrists. And then curve the spine like you're in cat. So the chin is coming towards the sternum, towards the neck. And then from here, just lift the knees off the floor a fraction of an inch, just a little bit. Feel the core engaged. Stay here, curve the spine in cat, and then exhale, we release out. Reset, take any shapes, any movement. And then we're going to try again, do that again. So chin tucked, shoulders come forward, so you're ahead of the wrist. Curve the spine, and then lift the knees off the floor. Stay here for a few breaths, but keep breathing so you're not holding the breath. So the belly is pulling in, and then exhale out. And then release back into child's pose. Arms are extended. The hips are going down towards the heels. And then roll up. And just watch for a second. So we're going to do the crab walk. Some of you may be familiar with this. Now for the crab walk we need space on both sides of the mat, because I'm going to show it real quickly. We're going to be going outside on one side of the mat, and then we're going to come back and we're going to go to the other side of the mat. So make sure that you have room available. If that is not available to you because you have a narrow space so you can't go in and out of the mat, as an alternative, what you can do is we'll all start in downward facing dog, is from here just do a few sequences going back and forth into plank and back into the dog. Make sure that you're transitioning, if you decide to go for this option, that you're doing it very softly and gently. So every time you soften the elbows and the knees to go back into the dog, and then soften again to come forward into plank. So that's one option. If you want to do the crab walk, that's what I'll guide you through, and that's what I will be doing. So we all start into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes, hands are planted, we bend the elbows, lift the knees. So we start soft, and then with an inhale we lengthen into downward facing dog. Do a few breaths here, regardless of which sequence you're going to be doing. So exhale, soften, inhale, lengthen into the dog. Exhale, soften, inhale, lengthen into the dog. And then as you soften everybody, we're going to come forward into plank. Inhale, plank. And then soften back into the dog. And so if you're doing the crab walk, you lift the left leg up, drop it behind you, and then lift the left arm, and you're going to turn all the way around until you are into downward facing dog with an inhale to the right of the mat. So your mat is going to be on your left, and then soften, we come forward into plank. Exhale back into the dog. We lift the right leg up, go back to the mat. Inhale, dog. We soften forward into plank. Go back into downward facing dog. We raise the right leg to go outside of the mat to the left side. Inhale, dog. We soften forward, inhale, plank. We soften back, inhale, dog. We lift the left leg to go back to the mat. So make it a continuous flow. Inhale, dog. Soften forward, plank. And then soften back, inhale, dog. And then the right leg this time slides in front of the left. And again, you come down, we go to the right side of the mat. Inhale, dog. Exhale, so fall forward, plank. Exhale, back, dog. And then left leg slides in front of the left, of the right. We come back to the mat. Inhale, dog. Soften forward, inhale, plank. Soften back, inhale, dog. Again, left leg in front of the right. We continue to the other side. Inhale, dog. Soften forward, inhale, plank. We soften back into the dog. Right leg slides in front of the left. We go back to the mat. Inhale, dog. Soften forward, inhale, plank. And then drop the knees to the floor. Hips back, find child's pose. Maybe take the hands down by your feet, releasing the shoulders down. Child's pose. Start lifting the chest up. And then lift the hips, curl the toes under. Just sit back for a second. Here, opening the back of the feet. And then use the hands to come up, or just try to come up without using the hands, and let's walk to the front of the mat. So I'm going to do a sun salutation here, and in the Anukalana, not just in Anukalana, but in all the practice here, we always inhale into the chest when we lengthen, and when we come out of the asanas, when we prepare to go into the asana, we exhale by empty the belly. So let's remember that basic breathing concept. So I'm going to start in the front of the mat with the knees soft and locked, shoulders are relaxed, roll. And then with an inhale, we're going to inhale into the chest, lengthen up, relax the shoulders, exhale, we come down. All the way down, we bend the knees as much as you need, so the chest is resting on the thighs. And then inhale, lengthen forward. So the hips are going towards the ceiling, the chest is lengthening, the arms are extended. And then exhale, we soften back down, plant the hands by the feet, step the left foot back, way back, and the hips go back. And then inhale, lengthen forward into your low lunge. Exhale back. Inhale, we lengthen once more. And then as you exhale back, plant the hands, the right foot goes all the way back. Inhale, lengthen into your dog. Exhale, soften the knees. All the way to the floor, untuck the toes, slide down and forward. And then tuck the tail, lift the belly, so the elbows are in, towards the midline, towards the ribs. And then with an inhale, we roll the spine up into cobra, or you can be down in low cobra. So wherever works for you. And then exhale, roll back down. Tuck the toes, we come up into a 4. Bend the elbows, lift the knees, stay soft first. And then inhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Exhale, we soften. Inhale, we lengthen into the dog. Just use the breath to find the lengthening. So the hips are pushing back. The heels are going towards the floor, but they don't need to reach the floor. What matters is the lengthening of the back of the legs as well. And then as we soften, step the left foot to the front, hips go back, inhale, lengthen here. Again, back, inhale, lengthen. And then as you soften back, the right foot comes to the front, the right soft, so the knees are bent. And then come with your fingertips, inhale, lengthen the chest forward. Exhale, we soften down, we roll up, cancel the shoulders, and then inhale, we lengthen up, exhale down. And then we go again, inhale, lengthen, exhale down, inhale, lengthen here, exhale, we soften, plant the hands, this time we step the right foot back, and then inhale, we lengthen forward. Exhale, soften back, plant the hands, the left foot goes back, meet the right, inhale, downward facing dog. And then exhale, soften, knees to the floor, untuck the toes, roll the chest down, slide the chest down rather, and then tuck the tail, lift the belly, inhale, roll the spine up. So the head is the last thing to come up. You're in cobra or low cobra. Exhale, we roll back down. We tuck the toes, come up into a 4, bend the elbows, lift the knees, inhale, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. So use the exhale to soften, the inhale to lengthen. And then as we soften, we step the right foot to the front. The hips are back. Inhale, lengthen forward here. Very long. Exhale, soften, the left foot comes to the front. Fingertips, push the hips up. Lengthen forward the chest. Exhale, soften, roll up. Inhale, long, exhale. Then again with a variation, inhale, exhale down, inhale we lengthen here, exhale we soften, we step the left foot back, and we drop the left knee to the floor, and the hips come back, and then with an inhale we come up, crescent lunge with the left knee down, and then exhale down, tuck the left toes, you take the right foot, goes all the way back and up, long, pushing the floor away with your hands, raise the right leg, and then soften the elbows, come forward and down, you flip over the toes and you roll up into upward facing, or you can still be down in cobra with the knees down. And then exhale, we soften back, and then inhale, dog. And as you soften, you step the left foot to the front, the right knee drops down, hips come back and up, open up. Couple of breaths here. And then exhale. Hands down to frame the front foot, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, step the right foot to the front. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, we soften down and we roll up. Inhale, exhale. Now same thing on the other side. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, down. Inhale, lengthen here. We soften, we step the right foot back. Right knee to the floor. Hips back. And we roll up here. We're opening the front of the body here. Just focusing on that. And then exhale. Hands down, tuck the right toes. And the left leg now is going to go all the way back and up. Three-legged dog. So push, focusing on pushing the floor away with your hands. And then the left leg goes high, high, high. Keep the left hip closed so it's not turning towards the floor. And then exhale, we soften, slide all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back. Soften back first. And then inhale, downward facing. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then as we soften, step the right foot to the front. Drop the left knee to the floor. Inhale, roll up. Opening up the chest. Exhale, we soften down. Lift the left knee, take the left foot to the front. Stay soft this time, take the hands to the heels. And then as you inhale, the hips going towards the ceiling and extend the head and the chest down. Utthita. And then exhale, we soften. Push the floor with your feet, roll up. Inhale. Exhale. Take the hands in prayer pose and close your eyes for a second. Just take a few breaths here to reconnect with the body, the breath. Just so we take those poses to allow the body to absorb the practice, so that we're not just rushing from one sequence or set of asanas to the next. And then exhale, open your eyes, release the arms down. And then again, we're going to start with an inhale, lengthening all the way up. Exhale, come all the way down. Hands in front of the feet on fingertips. Inhale, we lengthen forward. Exhale, soften, and then step the left foot back, and then the right. Inhale, dog. And then as we soften, we come down, knees to the floor. Untuck the toes, come all the way down to the floor, and come on your elbows, or your forearms rather. You're going to have the elbows under the shoulders, and then we'll come up into forearm plank. So make sure that the elbows are right under the shoulders, perhaps a slightly narrower, because as we come up, they're going to splay out a little bit. So hands and down to the floor, we tuck the toes. And we push the heels, we push into the toes so that the heels go back, so the knees and thighs are starting to lift up off the floor. And then with an inhale, we come up. Forearm plank. So imagine that someone is pulling your heels back and someone else is pulling your chest, your collarbone to the front. So you feel elongated. The tail is tucked. And just spend a few breaths here. And this is intense. You should feel the core waking up. Use the breath, use the focus, use the concentration to stay. Just another few breaths. And then exhale, release down. Place the hands crocodile and the forehead on top of the hands. And then again, we're going to come back into it. So we're going to take the elbows back under the shoulders. You want to tuck the toes, push the heels away so that the legs are lifting up. And then with an inhale, you want to come up. So find a plank here. And then either, obviously this is intense, you can always drop the knees down and stay like this, which is already quite a bit of work. Otherwise, if you have the plank, then maybe you start bending the knees slightly, barely touching the floor, and then inhale, extend. Exhale, inhale. So the knees don't quite touch the floor, they come down, just a fraction of an inch. And then we start walking the feet towards the elbows, so the hips are going up towards the ceiling. You're releasing the head down, the neck down, and the head is quite free. And then you can stay here, or you can lift the right leg up, feeling the weight on the shoulders. And then exhale, soften the right foot down, and then we lift the left leg up. And then soften down, and then we come down on our knees, and we find child's pose. So hips are releasing towards the heels. Take the hands back with the palms facing the ceiling. And then roll up, stay kneel for a second. Bring the hands to your thighs, belong on the spine. And just take a few breaths here before we continue. And then we place the hands ahead of us, come off the heels, walk the knees a little bit back, and then tuck the toes, and with bend the elbows, lift the knees, and then with an inhale we go back to downward facing dog. We spend a few breaths here, pushing the hips up, back towards the ceiling, very long. And then as you soften, you step the left foot to the front. We take the hips back. Inhale, we lengthen forward in low lunge. Once more, back and forth. We've already been here during the sun salutation, so we can move back. So with the hips back, plant the right hand down, left hand to the shoulder, inhale, left and twist to the left side. So you're propping the hips down, but without collapsing the left knee. So the right knee. So the right knee is extended, but the hips are opening down. Exhale, soften. Inhale, open. Soften and open. And then exhale, soften all the way down so the right knee comes to the floor. Untuck the toes, take the hips back so the right hip is perpendicular to the right knee. We extend the left foot forward. And then this is where you can use blocks under the hands. And with an inhale, extend the chest excuse me, forward towards the knees, towards the toes. So it's a lengthening forward rather than collapsing down. Use the breath. So we're extending a little bit the hamstrings here and the lower back. And then as you exhale, plant the left foot again. Plant the right hand. You want to slide into side plank. So you want to take the left foot back behind the right. Left hand to the shoulder, so you're opening to face the left side of the mat. Inhale, you're going to open up into side plank. You can do this with the right knee down as well. So, but the right foot is in front. Inhale, exhale. If you want, you can place it on top of the other one. And then from here we soften. The left foot, which is the one behind, is going to step back, so I'm going to be on the ball of the left foot. I'm going to pivot on the, extend the right foot, left hand to the shoulder. Inhale, I'm going to open into the wild thing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, opening up. And then I'm going to transition to the wild thing on the other side. So I soften. I'm going to take the left leg, it's going to come to the mat, the left hand drops down. I'm going to place the left foot to the floor, take the right foot back, and then inhale, wild thing on the other side. Soften and open. So the chest and the pelvis are facing the ceiling, and I'm pushing open towards the ceiling. The right leg is bent, I'm on the ball of the right foot, and the left leg is extended. Couple of breaths here. And then as I soften, I take the right hand back to the floor, to the mat, so the chest is facing the mat. Then I take the right foot up between the hands, and I'm in low lunge on the other side. So start here, in the low lunge. And then as I soften, the next time, the left hand comes down to the floor. I take the hips back, right hand to the shoulder, inhale, open to the right side. And exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen here. And as I soften, I drop down on the left knee. Walk back so that the left hip is perpendicular to the left knee, and I extend the right leg forward, and I extend over the right leg. Inhale, lengthen here. So again, you can use the blocks under your hands. And then as you soften, you want to come on the right foot, plant the left hand, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and then the right leg is going to slide behind the left. You want to turn to face the right side of the mat. You want to open into side plank. Exhale. Inhale. Just a couple of breaths here. Make sure you're softening when you come out. And then as you soften, the right foot steps back. And then we want to do this wild thing on this side. Exhale. Inhale. Again, chest and pelvis facing the ceiling. And then start by taking the right hand to the mat. That way your chest is turning to face the mat. Right foot to the floor, the left foot steps behind the right. And then you're going to open into wild thing on the other side. And then as you soften, left hand to the floor, chest facing the floor, and the left foot is coming between the hands. And low lunge. We're going to flow now, starting again on this side. Lengthen. Exhale, soften back, drop, hips back, open on the side. Exhale, we soften, right knee to the floor, hips back, lengthen here. Exhale, back, right hand to the floor. And then we're going to go side plank, standing on the right arm, so the left foot is behind the right. Side plank. Exhale, soften, left foot behind. Inhale, open into the wild thing. And then soften, turn to face the mat, left foot to the center of the mat, the right foot comes back, all the way back. Wild thing on the other side. Exhale, soften, right hand to the mat, left foot between the hands. Lengthen here. No lunge. Exhale, back. Plant the left hand, right hand to the shoulder. Inhale, twist open to the right side. Exhale, down. Left knee to the floor. Hips back. Inhale, lengthen over the right leg. Exhale, back. Plant the left hand. Take the right foot all the way behind the left. And twist, and open into Vashisthasana. Side plank. Exhale, soften, left foot comes back. Twist, turn the chest and pelvis facing the ceiling. Wild thing. Exhale, soften. Now you're going to do the wild thing on the other side. So the left foot now is behind. Open. And then we soften, come back to the center. We take the left foot between the legs, lengthen here, between arms, rather. Soften back, plant the right hand. Twist open to the left side. Exhale, back, drop the right knee to the floor. Lengthen over the left leg. Exhale, soften back, plant the right hand. The left foot going to go behind the right. Inhale, side plank. Soft, left foot steps back. Open into your wild thing. Soften, we're going to roll over to the other side. The wild thing on the other side. Exhale, soften. Step the right foot between the hands. One last time on flowing. Lengthen here. Exhale, back. Twist open. Exhale, back, left knee to the floor, hips back, lengthen over the right leg. Exhale, plant the left hand, lift the left knee, the right hand leg behind the left foot. Inhale, side plank. Exhale, right foot behind. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, we're going to go to the other side for the wild thing on the other side. So it's the left foot now that is pushing. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, soften back, plant the right hand. Inhale, twist open to the left side. Exhale, soften, right knee down, hips back. Inhale, lengthen over the right leg. Exhale, soften, plant the right hand, lift the right knee, step the left foot behind the right. Inhale, side plank, soften, left foot behind. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, soften, we go to the wild thing on the other side. Inhale. Exhale, we find downward facing dog. And then we drop down to our knees. sit back and listen to the body and the practice. Close your eyes. And so that, again, the poses enable the body to absorb the practice, the breath to come back to its regular pace, so it becomes less of an aerobic practice. And as I always say, you have the videos, those practices, when we have those flows, so you can go back and revisit them if there is any one that you want to kind of get the hang of it, or understand exactly how it goes, or repeat it more often. But the important thing is that even when you go through the repetition, you keep the awareness of what you're doing. That the repetition never becomes a kind of a dulling thing that you just go through it without awareness of where the all parts of the body are. So that is quite important. So the repetitions enable the body to open itself more and more as we go through it, which is great. But at the same time, it should not become an excuse to practice in autopilot, where we just let it go. There should always be that awareness, that intelligence, that understanding of what the body is doing, and intelligence of our practice. And then again, from here, find a way to come up. Either you can do what we did earlier, tucking the toes, sitting back on the toes and then lifting up, trying to lift up without the hands, or you can just cross your legs, come seated, and try to come up without using the hands with cross-legged. And that's easy for you with one crossing. Change the crossing to the other side and see if that works. And then we come to the front of the mat. And again, we find the Tadasana. Knees are unlocked, arms down by your side. And so we're going to do one standing sequence, and I need to move my mat back a little bit because I need more space. I'm still in the frame. So you want to inhale, extend up here. Exhale, we soften, we step the left foot back quite a bit. Chest and shoulder and hips still facing the front. And then hands soft to the shoulders, the knees are soft. Inhale, we open, extend both legs, opening the front of the chest. So exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen, open. So I'm focusing on opening the front, lengthening the front rather than arching the back. And then as I soften, when I'm coming to Warrior One, you have two variations here. You have traditional Warrior One, where you bend the front knee and extend the back leg, and the chest and the hips are facing forward. So spend a couple of breaths here, or if you want, you can come into more of a crescent lunge, where you're on the toes, on the ball of the back foot. So you choose the variation that you want. Obviously, in this variation, the crescent lunge, chest and hips are definitely facing square to the front. In this variation, it takes a little bit more of an effort to find that square into the front, and it will never happen completely because of the position of the back leg. But that's the intention. And then just find a few breaths here to open and lengthen. Exhale, inhale. And then with the next exhale, we're going to take the left leg all the way to the front and up. And we're going to hold the left knee to the chest. The right hand is going to come to the shoulder. We start soft. And then we're going to extend up, lengthening up. And if you want to find the extension forward of the left leg, you can do that. So what matters is not so much that you're straightening the left leg, although that's great if you can. It's more as you lengthening on the right side. You're going up and long. Exhale. Inhale. Couple of breaths here. You will still be here. Long. And then as we soften, we step the left foot all the way back. We drop the left hand to the floor. Both knees are soft. Right hand to the shoulder. Inhale, we lengthen the legs and twist to the, we straighten the legs and twist to the right side. Exhale, soften. Inhale, twist. So in the twisting, the chest obviously is rotating towards the right side, but we're also moving the chest forward towards the front. So it's a lengthening and turning. Both legs are straight. Use the breath. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lengthen. And as we soften, take both hands ahead of the right foot, maybe shorten the stand a little bit, and then with an inhale again, start with both knees soft, lengthen forward, so you're lengthening both legs, and the chest, the head are going down towards the front foot, so not lapsing into the right leg, you're going forward towards the floor ahead of you, in front of you. Exhale, soften, inhale, lengthen. So depending on the distance between the 2 feet, the heel of the back foot could be on the floor or is slightly elevated. You're lengthening forward. It's a pyramid thing, basically, what we're doing. And then exhale, soften everything. Step the left foot to the front. Place the hands by the heel, clasp the heels. Inhale, lengthen the hips to the floor. Exhale, knees pull up. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale. So we're going the other side. Inhale, we lengthen. Soft, step the right foot back. Arrive with both knees very soft. Hands to the shoulders. Inhale, we open the front of the body. Exhale. Inhale. Couple of breaths here. And then as you soften, you come into your variation of Warrior One. So traditional, bending the front knee, extending the back leg, trying to turn chest and hips square into the front. Make sure that the left knee doesn't go past the left ankle. Or the crescent lunge variation. You can play between the two, but I'd rather pick one and stay with that. So if you're in the traditional one, you bring your attention to the other edge of the back foot, which occasionally has the tendency to lift up off the floor. You want to make sure it's firmly pushing into the floor there. You're lengthening completely the right leg, the leg at the back. And when we soften, we're going to take the right knee to the front and up. And then start soft, lengthening up. And then again, soften if you want. You can play with the full extension, which is an added bonus. What we're looking for is lengthening the body. Exhale. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you soften everything. The right foot goes all the way back. The right hand is down. Left hand to the shoulder. Both knees are soft to begin with. And then inhale, I lengthen the leg, twist open to the left side. Exhale. Inhale. Both legs are straight. And again, you're twisting the chest open as it goes towards the front. Almost like a screw that is lengthening, going forward while it's turning. And then exhale, we soften. take the hands in front of the left foot, shorten the stand a little bit. Start always soft, and then inhale, lengthen the legs, lengthen the chest and the head forward towards the front of the left foot. Hips are squaring to the front, so the left hip is pushing back and the right hip is coming forward. And exhale, we soften, we take the right foot to the front, find the heels. Inhale, push the hips back and up. Exhale, soften, roll up. Inhale, exhale. So let's flow between this a couple of times. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we soften. We step the left foot back. Right, soft. Inhale, lengthen everything. Exhale, find your variation of warrior one. Exhale, the left leg is going to come up to the front and then either pipe the knees or extend. Exhale, down, foot all the way back, left hand. Inhale, send the legs, twist open to the right side. Exhale, we soften, hands in front, shorten the stand a little bit. Start with the knees soft, inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, soften, take the left foot to the front, and this time we just roll up. Inhale, exhale, right foot back. Inhale, open and lengthen to the front. Exhale, we soften, variation of warrior one. Exhale, we soften, take the right knee to the front and up, or find the big toe. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, back, down. Inhale, twist to the left, extending both legs. Exhale, we soften. Hands in front of the right foot, shorten the stand. Inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, soften, right foot to the front. Inhale, roll up, long. Exhale again, left foot back. Maintain that awareness, inhale, open. The whole body is extending always at the same time. Warrior one. And you're relaxing everything when you come out. Ekaparanusasana, you come up. Inhale, lengthen. Open knee to the chest. Exhale, soften back. Left hand down. Inhale, twist. To the right, soften. Hands in front, shorten the stand. Inhale, lengthen, down. Soft, left foot to the front. Inhale for coming up. Exhale, right leg back. Inhale, lengthen. Soft, warrior one. Soften the right knee to the front. Inhale, lengthen here. We soften, right foot back, right hand to the floor. Inhale, lengthen legs and twist to the left. Exhale, soften, hands in front of the left foot, shorten the stand. Inhale, lengthen. Soft, right foot to the front. Find the heels. Inhale, lengthen the hips to the ceiling. And exhale, soften, roll up. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer pose, close your eyes. And again, allow for the body to absorb the practice. Excuse me. So as I always say during the practice in the video, determining the pace with my own breath. Excuse me. When you're practicing by yourself, you should follow your own breath. So it's the breath that is always leading the movement. And you should use the breath to set your pace, which can be different from what we're doing when we practice together. And then we open the eyes, we release the arms down. We come to the back of the mat. Inhale, we lengthen up. Exhale, we release down, we soften everything, hands to the floor, and we walk to the front. So we come down into all four, basically. Position this. Just want to reset the spine a little bit first. And then sit back on the heels. And sit down on one side and swing the legs forward. So we're going to do a shoulder stand. So we've been working up a lot of the upper body, a lot of the stuff that we've done today is preparation for both Shirsasana, headstand, and Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. So if you have a Shirsasana practice, feel free to go into it now. I'll be guiding you through shoulder stand, and it's also shoulder stand is not available to you. You can always do a supported shoulder stand. So let me quickly show the supported shoulder stand. I don't have a block with me today, but basically you're going to come down, feet down to the floor. You're going to lift the hips up. You're going to place the block under the hips here. And then imagine I have a block there supporting me, and then I'm going to take the legs up first this way, so the knees perpendicular over the hips, and I'm going to extend the legs up. So your hips will be elevated and you'll be resting somewhat on your shoulders. It's Viparita Karani. And then if you're going to do shoulder stand, so my suggestion is, there's a lot of people who do it with the blankets, and if you're used to using blankets to elevate your shoulders, go ahead and do that. The only thing is I make sure is that my head is not on the mat, because often my hair gets caught into the stickiness of the mat and it's quite uncomfortable. So my head is off the mat. And again, if you're using blankets, use blankets, and then you want to start taking the hips up. I'm going to place my hands to support my hips, and then I'm going to start, you can elevate one leg, extend one leg and then the other, or you can extend both legs at the same time. And so I'm trying to align legs, hips over the shoulders as I walk my hands down. Now, if you're in a headstand, you should come down into child's pose whenever you're ready. I'll stand a couple of more breaths into shoulder stand. And then to come out, to start taking, you can take one leg at a time, back overhead. And if both feet reach the floor, you can release the hands down. If the feet don't reach the floor, they're somewhere here, keep the support in the back with your hands. So you're in plow pose or a variation. And then maybe you bend the knees, take the knees towards your ears. And then start gently rolling out and using the hands to kind of slow down as you come out, and the head and the shoulders, they stay in contact with the floor, so you're not lifting them up. And then once you arrive, just reset here. or down on the floor. If you were in Viparita Karani, you're up here, you take the feet back down, press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, you remove the block, and then cut back down. If you're in headstand, you've done your child's pose, and then you lay down. So we're all back in the same place, and then we hug the knees to the chest. And maybe find happy baby. And then extend the legs out, arms down by your side, and start finding your Shavasana. So you release the forehead, release the jaw, separate the lips slightly rather. Relax the neck, the shoulders. Relax the upper arms. Elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers. Relax the upper back, mid back, lower back. Relax the hips, left and right. Relax the thighs, left and right. Knees, calves, ankles, feet, toes. You're in deep Shavasana. Start deepening your breath. Wiggle the toes, fingers, bring some movement back to the physical body. Bend the knees, plant your feet. Notice which nostril is more open. Turn the body to that side. And then use the hands to help you come up seated. Find a comfortable seat. Eyes are closed. We bring the hands together at the center of the chest, thumbs touching the midline. We bow our head. And we find the breath. The breath is our guide to the practice of yoga. It's what enables us to be present. And every time we need to practice yoga, we find the breath. And we'll be doing yoga. Thank you. Namaste.